In entrepreneurial companies, there's many, many opportunities to train our people, especially those puppies that we talk about. We train people on processes, we train people on how to interact with customers, we train people on how to have a meeting, we train people on a lot of different things. And because we know how our company operates, we're constantly retraining also because we're learning and growing as well. So I'm going to introduce to you a training method that most people overlook, but this training method is the way to get things to stick and the way to get people's brain cells on fire working, making sure all of those gears are turning, because we know in entrepreneurial companies we don't have any room for just bumps on a log or people who are told what to do. We want everyone thinking. So here we go with the training method. The first thing we need to do is we owe it to our people to teach them. So the first step is teach. And when I say teach, it means that we really need to offer them something that is school-like or textbook. We offer them the basic training. So we offer them, here's the textbook that you need to read, here's the videos that you need to watch, here's even on-the-job teaching. This is how you operate this piece of equipment. So we definitely owe it to people to teach them. The problem with teaching is that most of the time this is where companies stop. They think, oh, I have taught my direct report how to do this skill, and so therefore he or she is trained and I'm done and I'm a great manager. But we have 3 more steps to round out this training method that really makes it stick. So the second step is called coaching. So imagine that you're my boss and you have taught me how to operate the machine. And you taught me all how to use it, and then you said, okay, Jill, go ahead, work on this machine, and if you have any questions, come let me know and I'll help you out. So here I am, I'm working on the machine, and I'm maybe day 2 or 3, and I'm working, and all of a sudden I get stuck. There was either a gap in my teaching or I didn't retain something, and I'm looking at the machine and I don't know what button to push, the red one or the green one. And so, in my mind, I think, where am I going to find my answer? Well, I go back to that teaching and I remember my boss saying, if you have any questions, come on over and let me know. So immediately I just go into your office and I say, hey boss, what button do I push, the red one or the green one? And you say, it's the green one, Jill. And I say, great, thank you. And I run back to my machine and I push the green button. And I'm so happy because you gave me the answer. You're so happy because I got back to work. Now the problem with that is the next day I'm working on the machine and I go, oh, I'm stuck again. What button do I push, the red one or the purple one? And so I run to your office again because my brain is trained to go to you for an answer. So I run into your office and I say, which button do I push, the red one or the purple one? And you say the purple one. And I'm happy and you're happy and I get back to work and you get back to work. And so we go about that day after day after day. Now the big problem with that is that you have 10 of me, and so your office looks like there's a line outside your office and you're just pointing people in the directions, red button, green button, purple button, red button, green button. And that's what your day is filled with, and you never get to your higher level work, to working on the business. So the alternative way to do that is that very first step. So back up to the first scenario. I don't know what button to push, the red one or the green one. I run into you. I say, what button do I push, the red or the green? And you say, what have you tried? Where else have you looked? Who else did you ask? What button do you think you should push? So you're now engaging with me in coaching me instead of giving me the answer. You're engaging with me in coaching me. And what happens is, in my brain now, instead of just training me of where to go for the answer, now you're helping my brain cells engage. And next time when I wonder what button to push, I'm going to think, where did I find that answer before? Hopefully it's right here within my own brain. I'm gaining confidence. Now, so I do want you to engage in some coaching, and there's some good coaching questions that you can ask. But there's a couple more steps here. So let's go ahead and take this scenario and step it up a notch. Now let's say say it's not really what button to push, the red or the green, but now it's a customer is irritated. And I've run into your office and I've said, the customer is irritated. What do I do? Well, now you love the company, you love your job, you love your customers, and so immediately you want to jump in and rescue me. And so you might, as the boss, say, oh, Jill, I'm going to take this one over from you. You can't handle it. Or you might tell me exactly what to do. And so through, what I would suggest is through coaching, you come up with a solution together. And then whatever that action is, that solution, maybe we need to call the customer and have a meeting with them. Whatever that solution is, I, the employee, the team member, I'm the one that needs to push that button. I'm the one that needs to call that customer. So we call that third step, don't rescue. Now this is really deceiving because in the beginning, as the employee, I want you to rescue me. Please save me. I'm in pain right now. I'm scared. I'm nervous. I don't know what to do. And absolutely, you can hold my hand. You can stand over my shoulder. You can role play with me. You can give me all kinds of resources. But in the end, I'm the one that's going to push the button. That's called don't rescue. Now, a little caveat here. We're never going to let the company fail just because we're trying to be great managers. So there's definitely an emergency stop button, definitely times you will need to jump in. This is a nice little framework. So don't rescue me. When you rescue me, when you say, Jill, I'm going to call that customer for you just this once because you can't handle it, you're really telling my subconscious that you don't believe in me and that I don't have what it takes to really fulfill this role. So I will then immediately go back to wanting to rely on you for the answers. So make sure that you don't rescue your people. A really great visual to think about this to make sure you're not rescuing your people, because they'll ask for rescuing and even just little tiny things, and they'll just kind of sneak it under the door and you don't even know that it's happening. Great visual is to think about when somebody's walking into your office or via email walking into your office with an issue. If when you have talked about the issue and that person literally or virtually walks back out of your office, if they have the to-do, then you've done a good job. You did not rescue. If you have the to-do, if you have the action item, they've left that monkey with you, and pretty soon you'll have an office full of monkeys. So virtual line out the door of everybody needing you to rescue them. So that's a nice little visual to remember. Fourth step here is, imagine with me that we've gone through all of this and we had the angry customer and I called the angry customer and I talked it through with them and I got the issue resolved. Most of the time in entrepreneurial companies, at that point, I will just get back to work. I go, phew, that was great, and I move on to my next task. Same thing with managers. You are busy, and so you've sent me on my way, and I've completed the task. You didn't rescue me, and then we just get back on to work. So the fourth step here is really valuable for making all of the lessons that I learned through these 3 steps. It's valuable for making them stick. And the last one here is called return and report. Return and report. And this is as simple as, hey Jill, when you're done talking to that client, come on back and let me know how it went. Just an invitation to debrief. Because when I talk about my experience in these 3 stages of not being rescued, then the learning sinks into my brain. Your only role in the return and report is to invite people back, sit there and say, how did it go? And be silent. Let me talk about my experience. It could even be that I learned some really cool things and you might ask me to teach the other people the cool things that I learned, maybe in a level 10 meeting. So that's our training model there. Try that and see if that works for you to get your processes followed by all and to get all of everybody on the same page.